We'll jump over to John, him from Canada. His note is unborn babies are proof of God. So I want to clarify, John, A, do I have that right? And B, is it only unborn babies that are proof of God?
My name is John, and
John.
Not just unborn babies, babies in general.
Okay. I have spoken to you several times, John, so thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right, so give us your evidence. Give us your logic, I guess. You're claiming that babies as a whole, born or unborn, are proof of God, and I assume that means they are evidence that supports the claim that some God exists. So how are they evidence of a God?
When we look at a newborn baby, you see how perfectly designed it is.
Wrong.
Okay.
Just stop right there, John.
Sorry. Wait.
I mean, that's just...
I know. Wait.
I mean,
I want to give John a chance. No, let's give John a chance.
Okay, you're right.
John is about to educate us and rattle off a bunch of features about unborn babies that demonstrates how perfectly designed they are for some purpose, as yet unstated.
All right.
So let's hear the litany of baby features that are a perfect design that Apple would be jealous of the fact they didn't think of this design first. So go ahead, John, name your top 3 features of a baby that prove that it is perfectly designed.
Well, A, the fact that it has all the body parts necessary to live. B, the fact that it's able to fit out of its mother. And C, and most importantly, it has a brain that functions. And that brain will allow the baby to think, to feel, to act, to interact, and to make a difference in the world. There's no other being in the universe that can do that. The most intricately designed tree in the world, the most intricately designed machine cannot think for itself. Even a computer, no matter how good it is, even though it has lots of information, it's not sentient. It can't think. Any person, including you and me, can make a difference. And most importantly, a baby someday, when it grows up, will be able to love.
Will it? I'm gonna jump in here. Okay, you just made an assertion. We've got the list of features, but you did just make something you made an assertion there that any baby can grow up to love. We can dispute everything you said, but let's talk about that one, because I think that's a good jumping off point to sort of investigate this claim. I think medically speaking, that's not true. There are people who are incapable of loving from a medical standpoint. I'm going to say hi to my friend who is a child psychiatrist, a renowned child psychiatrist. I will verify this with her later, but I'm 99.9% sure that these people would have a diagnosis in the DSM that says, nope, they are unable to love. How do you respond to that, John? What does that say about your God?
I'm not talking about a few percent people who are psychopaths. I'm talking about.
So you're not talking about the people that disprove the fucking thing you just said, John. That's nonsense, John. That's crazy, man. That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Okay? I'm sorry I'm getting hot, but it's like you said, for the first words out of your mouth were that the babies are formed perfectly and they have all the necessary body parts to live, except for the millions of times that they don't. You said that they can fit out of their mother, except for the fact that C-sections have existed since the time of the fucking Caesars. So we've known about the fact that babies don't seem to fit through the vaginal canal perfectly for a while, man. Like, how do you not know that? I can't take it seriously. I'm sorry. It just like you come at me. That would be like saying, man, like soccer is the perfect sport in the world because it uses a ball that's shaped like an oval and oftentimes it's made from pigskin. I'd be like, that's not true. That's not soccer. That's American football. You're talking about. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I'll stop now. I'll calm down. I swear. It was so weird. The first things out of your mouth, they're so obviously demonstrably false.
Okay,
I'm
laughing in the background, both because I wanted to say everything you just said, and I'm finding it very funny. So I'm not laughing at John. I am laughing at SR's reaction. John, we do have a problem here. We have a big problem here. It's kind of the Nostru Scotsman's fallacy. It's kind of a shifting the goalposts. It's kind of a poor evidence and poor logical arguments, all sort of jumbled up together. To say this thing is perfect because all instances of it have this attribute. And then we cite a bunch of instances of that thing not having that attribute. And you say, I'm not talking about them. That should be on its face, obviously, a problem to anybody that's trying to make a sincere argument. So what are your thoughts about that criticism? We say, hey, everybody can grow up in love. And then we point out the fact that people can't, and you say, I'm not going to worry myself about the 1%, 2%, or 3% of people who are psychopaths or sociopaths. Don't you see that that's a real problem with your original argument? How do you respond to that?
If you had let me finish, I would have told you that every single human being can make a difference in the world. Imagine the founding fathers had been aborted. You wouldn't be living in the country you're living in now.
Okay, yeah, so let's
just demonstrably false.
Well, I mean, ontologically or epistemologically speaking, he may be right that every baby does make a difference in the world in that it changes the arrangements of molecules and atoms and particles in the local space around the planet when they come into existence. Okay, so I can't argue that against John.
You're doing that thing where you make the dumb argument sound better. We just
talked about this before the show. Yeah. So saying that, hey, people can grow up to be Mozart and Einstein ignores the fact that people can grow up to be Stalin and Hitler and Pol Pot and that. So making a difference is a value statement that I assume you mean making a positive difference, in which case we have a ton of examples. There was a shooting today in Alabama. It looks like an assassination, a paid hit job where a bunch of innocent people got shot. They made a difference, but I assume that's not the difference that you're talking about. So, John, let's cut to the chase, right? You came here with an argument to say that unborn babies are a proof of God, that they are somehow perfect. We have identified some flaws, a handful of flaws, right? Are you retracting that statement, or what have we misunderstood?
I'm not retracting it, and I don't appreciate you laughing at me. Plus, I guess your solution would be to have selective abortions to prevent people like Stalin.
My solution would be to try to believe things that are demonstrably true. And when I say something, no matter how confident I feel about it, John, but when I say something that is so quickly and easily proven to be false, not that we don't have evidence, but outright, undeniably, the United States right now has more deaths of individuals giving birth than any of the other G7 nations in the world. Nobody else in the world has the technology that the United States does and still has people dying during birth. You know why? You know why, John? Because babies' heads don't magically always fit through the vaginal canal, because it's not fucking perfect. And
in fact, go ahead.
God, I'm sorry. Please.
In fact, for one of the theories that I have understood as to why infants are so helpless when they are first born is that we have to give birth earlier in the gestational path because the head won't fit.
Yes.
So infants need a human being to care for them, or they would die instantly. Yes. Unlike other animals, if you've ever watched any babies getting born in the wild, who spring from the wound and stand up and can immediately, start eating grass and look around and swim in the water or run away from the wolf. Some can't, but a lot can. We can't. There's a real problem with babies. So let's abstract the conversation. I want to give John one more chance. And I'm sorry, John, we've cut you off. But the reason we cut you off is we can't let you go down that path because it's illogical. And to make a note of something you said, we are not laughing at you. I don't laugh at you. I've talked to you many times. I am laughing at some of the things you're saying, your ideas. And that's fair game in any world. And you can laugh at what I'm saying. That's fair game. I have spoken to you. I've seen you be sincere and genuine and trying to figure this out. So I appreciate that. So let's abstract and say the call was about proof of fit to purpose, right? That this thing is so fit to purpose. The baby is so well designed to be a baby or to be a being that it's proof that there must have been designed. It's an intelligent design sort of argument. How do you know what the purpose is? What is the purpose? How do you know what the purpose is that you're trying to fit? When you say the baby is designed perfectly, by necessity, that means it's designed for a purpose, and there would be no way to design it to better fulfill that purpose. How do you know what the purpose is, and how does the baby fit to that purpose?
The baby was born for a simple purpose, to live and to make a difference in the world. Think about it.
How do you know that that's the purpose? Where's that purpose coming from?
Because
to live and to make a difference.
You could become a doctor. Because if you're good at science, you could become a doctor and save lives.
I'm going to interrupt you because I don't think you understood my question. I'm sorry, John. I want you to talk, but I don't think you understood my question. My question was, what is the purpose? And you said to live and make a difference. And then I said, how do you know that that is the purpose of human beings, to live and to make a difference? Where are you getting that information that that is the purpose of being a human being?
Because everyone has a purpose, gentlemen. Everyone.
That is not, and answer my question in any way.
Yeah, you're just
in any way, right? How do you know that there is a purpose? Where are you getting that information from? What is the purpose?
Because everyone has a talent, and if someone has a talent, they can use it to their advantage.
Just because somebody has a talent and somebody can do something doesn't mean that they are designed for it. How do you demonstrate that? Okay, let's just say I have a talent for juggling, okay? And let's just say that I could make a lot of people happy by putting on a local circus in Nashville, Tennessee, featuring me juggling, okay? I have that talent, can do that thing. How can you demonstrate that my purpose is to be part of a circus? That's what he's asking, John. How do you demonstrate that?
It has to come from somewhere, gentlemen. Things don't come out of nowhere.
You're already accepting. You're already accepting.
You didn't answer the question. Again, you are not answering the question. You are assuming a purpose, but with that response, it has to come from somewhere. No, where are you getting the information that there is a purpose? That's the question. Where is that information coming from other than in your head? Where did you learn that? Where did you prove it? What evidence do you have that there is some sort of purpose? Could you answer that question?
It's not coming from my head. It is obvious that people have certain talents.
Okay, so you just said it's obvious. You just said it's obvious. And that is like saying it's obvious that the world is flat. What may be obvious to you is not obvious to me. So how do we reconcile that? We use a method called evidence, right? Supplying evidence. So what evidence do you have that the purpose of humans is to make a difference?
Look at the world around you. It was humans that built the very studio that you're sitting in. It was humans that built the very microphone you're speaking in right now.
All right. So let me ask you this. You're not answering the question again.
Yeah, we're not.
The analogy you're doing is I see an asteroid crash into Earth. Mm-hmm. And then I say the purpose of that asteroid was to crash into Earth. Is that a logical argument? Is that a logical conclusion for me to reach?
No.
That the purpose of the asteroid was to crash into the Earth?
No, it was not logical.
Okay.
Why?
You are making the same argument. You see humans do a thing and then say, therefore, their purpose is to do that thing. They're making a difference, therefore that's their purpose. But you're adding on a big fallacy. Your fallacy is, I see, which is felonious. We already agreed, seeing a human do a thing, saying that means it's their purpose. That you just agreed, that's a logical fallacy. But you are also adding, I'm only going to look at the things that humans do that I like. The purpose of the human is to make a positive difference. Look at Mozart, look at whoever you want to cite. And that is the purpose. It's only the things I like. So do you see now how your argument doesn't add up? If the asteroid's purpose is not to crash into the Earth, then the human's purpose is not to make a difference. We haven't proven those things. Do you agree with that?
Okay, I don't see how the asteroid disproves my point. I really don't see how that's possible.
Okay, so
Let's
maybe
answer. Let's abstract it. I want to walk you through this because we don't do this enough on the show. Okay, I'm going to make it as simple as possible. The asteroid crashing into the Earth. I see a thing A, do a thing B, and I argue therefore the purpose of A's existence is to do thing B. That is your argument. That's as simple as I can make it. A does B, therefore A's purpose is to do B. That pattern, if that's a logical fallacy, that's an unsupported, it's not a valid argument, right? I can't get there from here. If that doesn't work in the abstract, it doesn't work in the specific. So I see A do B, therefore A's purpose is to do B, is the same as saying I see asteroid hit planet, therefore the asteroid's purpose is to hit planet, is the same as saying I see human make a difference, therefore the human's purpose was to make a difference. They are all exactly the same argument, and they are all equally invalid according to your own observation. Does that make sense?
It does make sense that something or someone is good at something and they do it. But my real concern is the hundreds and millions of babies that are being murdered every day.
No. Hold up. Stop. John, shut up. Shut up with that stupid crap. Yeah. Stop.
I think that was a yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I want to go back to that. Because he just laid it out really, really well. Did you follow what Cross-Examiner was just saying about why that pattern, in the broadest of senses, does not work? So it doesn't matter what the specifics are; it still won't work. Does that make sense to you? And are you agreeing to that?
I really don't know what you're talking about.
All right, fuck this. This is stupid. This is just fucking dumb. This is so stupid.
Yeah, I'm concerned, John, because I've talked to you several times. I've heard you talk to other people several times, and either you're the world's best troll. Yeah, like this has been an ongoing sort of Sacha Baron Cohen or Andy Kaufman level performance for the last several months, or you really aren't grasping these concepts, in which case I have some concerns about your ability to sort of not get taken advantage of, quite frankly, because this is the type of lack of logical thinking that can make you susceptible to claims that don't add up. And that's how people get taken advantage of. So I would encourage you, John, to talk to people you trust that have your interest at heart, if indeed you are not the world's best troll, and seek out ways to increase your capacity to analyze logical arguments, logical statements for truth values, so that not just in religion, but in the world, you don't fall prey to scam artists and people who just generally, want to take advantage of you. And I'm not trying to cut you down. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. And maybe your weakness here is if you are genuine, that this logical reasoning is not your strength, because I don't know how more simply to put it. If A do B, then A is supposed to do B, doesn't make sense. That should be the end of the argument. Right. All right. How about you, SR?
No, I'm good. We can drop him, and I'll say kind of just do a kind of general wrap thing here. Many of you probably know J Mike. He hangs out around these parts every so often, and a lot of times he'll talk about the commitments that we make when it comes to believing things, right? And he'll talk about the baggage that comes with that. What we just witnessed is that in action, because John has a commitment to a God, and the baggage that comes with that now is this purpose thing, and he was right about to bridge on free will. I fucking bet you if we would have gone further about why he didn't think the asteroid hitting Earth was its purpose, I bet you he would have brought up we have free will from God. But you see all of this other stuff that now comes with it that really at the end of the day, you guys, is a big question mark. It's another big question mark that you just keep slapping into that empty box, because the commitment from the beginning is not a good commitment. Drop those commitments, you guys. Drop that shit. You don't need it, and it's just going to make your life harder later on. But oh my God, he said babies are perfectly fit out of the. Oh my God, so crazy. C-sections. I'm sorry.
You know, if you take the 3 baby things. The body parts, it has all the body parts it needs. It fits out of where it's coming from, and it's got a brain to do the thing it needs to do. That applies to the asteroid too. Asteroid has every part it needs to be an asteroid. It can get out of whatever orbit it broke out of, and it's got enough thinking power to do what it does, which is to slam into planets eventually.
I hate it. I hate this argument.
I think he's onto something, quite frankly.
Oh my God.
Isn't it just one giant tautology? Yeah, I was actually surprised that he didn't agree. I was ready for him to say, yes, that's the purpose of the asteroid, quite frankly. I was ready for it to be, I think if that's what happened, then therefore that's what God wanted to happen. Therefore that's its purpose, which means anything that happens is what God wants, which is just meaningless. So what do we do with that? Right.
It's a weird type of determinism in that sense. Yeah. But see, I think if we would have pressed further, he would have said the space rock is not, it doesn't have free will. And so it you know, yeah. Anyway.
Who knows?